Beauty and the Somatic Beast by Rachel and Sergia. Once upon a time, there was a handsome adolescent prince named Adam. He lived in a castle in the woods just outside of a nearby village. The prince frequently had many delightful visitors who came to experience the parties and balls. One night, the prince received a knock on the front door. When he opened the door, a feeble old lady emerged from the shadows. She was frigid from being lost in the blizzard and quite desperate for a warm place to lie her head at night while she waited for the storm to pass. As a gift in return, she offered the prince the most perfect red rose she could find. The prince was shocked and absolutely disgusted by the old lady and her offering. He denied her a place to stay. The old lady transformed into a beautiful woman who had magic powers. The prince was pleasantly impressed with her looks, so he instantly took back what he had said and offers her a room to stay in as long as she needs. Respectfully denying his offer, instead she hands him the bright red rose that she had picked. The witch told the prince that a spell would be placed upon him along with anyone else who lived in the castle. She states that outer appearance is not as important as the true beauty that comes from within a person. The prince turned into a scary beast and all of his servants turned into objects along with him. She warned that the spell would be active until he found true love. Time would run out when the last petal fell off. Learning the details of this curse caused the beast a great deal of distress. As days turned into months and months quickly turned into 10 years, the former prince started to experience more symptoms than previously promised by the witch. He couldn't even bear to look at himself in the mirror any longer because it causes him to excessively think about his disorder. He often has feelings of severe and major guilt since those he cared for also fell victims to the curse. This guilt often manifests into anger, which he subconsciously takes out on those around him. This results in damaged relationships. He is very concerned with the situation at hand. He spends so much time of his energy stressing about potential cures. He now worries each day about how dark this castle has become. He even becomes anxious and doubtful that he can ever break the curse. Being this big beast has caused him so much pain, not only physically but mentally as well. Back at the village, there was a lovely young woman named Belle, who was a town psychiatrist. She lived with her father, who was an inventor. One of her favorite things to do was visit the bookstore. She would then go sit by the water fountain and read for hours. She read all types of books, but her favorite ones were written about psychology. One day, Belle's father sets off on horseback in carriage. Along the way, he encounters a pack of wild wolves and loses control. He manages to get back on his horse and flees, soon coming across a mysterious castle. The same castle the witch had found, except now it was gloomy and sends shivers down your spine. He was afraid to go in, but did so anyways. The next morning, Belle wakes up to the sound of her father's horse galloping outside. She was relieved he made it back, then quickly realized that the horse was no longer carrying the precious cargo she expected. Worried for her father, she asks the horse to take her to where he is. They eventually ride up to a heavy iron gate where Belle notices her father's scarf. She goes past the gate and proceeds to knock on the door. It seems as if no one is there, but the door is wide open. Belle begins to call out for her father and happens to hear his voice coming from the distance. She then grabs a candlestick to light the way so she can follow his voice. She finds him cold in a miserable cell. All of a sudden, the beast appears and tells Belle that her father is a prisoner forever. Belle graciously tells the beast to trade her life for her father's freedom. The beast miraculously allows Belle to stay and in exchange releases her father. The beast lets her out of the chamber and offers her a room to stay in. Along with that, she gains access to the entire castle except for one part, the west wing, which is where the beast's room is at. He gives her a stern warning to avoid that area but never tells her why. As some time passes, Belle begins to notice how the beast's mood quickly changes with small triggers. She starts noticing different patterns emerging from his behavior, so she silently starts observing him like she would with a patient. She writes about her findings in a diary. Weeks pass, and the beast does some observing of his own as well. He comes to find out that Belle loves to read. One morning after breakfast, the beast tells Belle that he has a surprise for her. He makes her open up a door to a room she didn't even know existed. Behind the door, she finds the largest library she has ever seen. The library is filled with thousands of books. Belle was beyond grateful for his kind gesture and offered to read with him. The beast picked out a book and tried to sound some words out, getting very angry along the way. He was so frustrated that he threw the book into the fireplace. That moment is when she learned that the beast did not ever learn how to read. The beast's friends from the castle encourage him to stay nice and calm with Belle, as she may possibly become the key to breaking the castle's spell. This only makes his repeated thoughts rampant again. He worries if she can truly ever love a beast like him. He starts to open up to Belle. A lot of the symptoms he has been experiencing sounded familiar to her. She remembered a psychology book she read back at the village. Belle enlightens him on a topic called somatic disorder. She believes the beast has developed this disorder due to the trauma experienced from his curse. Belle goes over the symptoms of somatic disorder. She states that in order to be diagnosed, you must be experiencing them for 6 months or more. She reassures him that focusing on fixing the direct cause of the disorder will help clear the symptoms up. If it doesn't, they can also try mindfulness therapy or drug therapy. As soon as Belle's father is released, he returns to the village. Traumatized from his experience, he tells all that a scary beast has Belle held captive. The village plans to attack the castle in order to rescue her. Belle's father leads the way to warn her that she needs to escape because the village is coming to attack the beast. Belle shouts and cries to her father, explaining that she loves the beast. In that moment, the villagers arrive at the castle with fire and pitchforks. Belle commands them to stop, as the beast is not the malicious animal he once betrayed. One villager shoots an arrow at the beast. He falls onto the ground, and Belle runs to him with tears of sorrow running down her face. She kisses the beast goodbye and tells him that she loves him. Just as the last rose petal finally fell from the stem, fireworks appear in the sky. Magically, the beast floats into the air, delicately coming back down as the prince he once was. Her kiss of true love broke the beast's somatic curse. In the end, the castle, along with everyone else who is under the spell, turns back to normal as well. The beast has come to accept his disorder and learns how to positively cope with the help of his true love and new wife, Belle. She then goes off to write a book about the prince and his experience with somatic disorder in order to help educate people about the truth. They all lived happily ever after.